I'm going to do an insight video today, and I'm going to talk about creation and consciousness and the now moment. This is really, really essential to this time and age, about the now moment and about like knowing that within within creation, everything comes through you, for you, and as you. So nothing is outside of you. This is such a important sort of like insight around separation. So many of us get attached and entangled with sort of like money and concerns about like the external world and our lives and our realities, when really actually creation is coming from us. Everything is a reflection of what we're creating within our energy within the now moment. And it's the understanding that within the now moment that all things are possible, all things are are available, and there's infinite potential within that now moment. And the only thing that needs to shift is consciousness. I was talking yesterday about sort of like talking about the principles, like the 15 sort of principles of self-realization, and there's two at the end of them. There's principle 14 and 15, and the principle 14 talks about like consciousness. Consciousness is like energy moving into form that creates reality, and that all creation is energy, is frequency, is vibration, and that consciousness is just energy moving into form. And this is like with formless realities and formless dimensions as well. So when you start looking at things like the infinite dimensions and realities of what we call like other dimensional realms, when people say like spiritual realms and stuff like that, they're formless realities, they're formless dimensions. And like your consciousness is still connected in that, and it's connected in there from your infinite self. And your infinite self is always connected into those formless realities and those formless dimensions. So this is why it's sort of like when people say about connecting to your well, they say higher self, but I always say infinite self. And I've had this conversation many times before. If you connect into your infinite self, then you're connected into the infinite possibilities and the infinite sort of like potential of the formless realms, which is where your infinite self lives. And your infinite self is connected to and aligned and unified with your soul. There's no separation. The soul is like, to me, the soul is like the source energy, sort of like. And again, when you talk about like self-realization, the soul is like source energy. It's source energy, your essence, which is our essence is we are all source energy, we are source creation, we are source vibration. And the soul is like the aspect of source that is with you within this reality. And it's directly connected to your infinite self. Your infinite self and your soul are working as one. And it's like the infinite self is this multi-dimensional self that still has access to all the infinite dimensions and realities, and the infinite energy of source creation. And when we align with that, then we align with the infinite potential within this reality, and it's a direct channel to that source energy. um, and again, um, sort of like the second one principle I was talking about is the 15th principle, which is saying that if you remain in like an infinite state of consciousness, your well-being is self-assured. So again, this links directly to the first principle, which is saying that you're everything you wish to be, you already are. So in that sense, it's telling you that you're sort of like perfect. You are exactly where you need to be. You have all the tools that you need in this moment now, to create and express your reality, your truth, your purpose. And when we say purpose, for me, all purpose is just awakening. It's awareness. It's the understanding that you are this being of light and energy and frequency, and that you are a creator. Each and every one of us, our purpose is to know that we are a creator. And again, this relates to like I say the sixth dimension. You've got the third, which is the external world, which is the 3D reality, which is the out there reality. And that's the physical reality of the external world that many of us live within. The worries about jobs, money, all that kind of stuff. When you go into the fourth dimension, you go into transformation. And again, this connects directly to, again, a principle where you start talking about all of your power is in that now moment. But it also connects to another principle where it talks about you get more of what you are, not what you want. So again, it's like it's saying that the energy's there, and whatever you create consciously, you then express, and that becomes your reality. And then again, it relates to another principle, which is like you are the creator of your own creation, your own reality. And again, all these principles, when you start to see principles and you start to see universal laws, and you start to see that, you start to see that oneness is in everything. And what I mean by that is like the oneness is that all things are part of the same whole. There's nothing separate. And so like even in that sort of talking in that kind of expressing it in that way, the out there reality, I'd say there's nothing out there, but the out there reality is directly connected to your inner reality, which is like, everything comes through you, for you, and works as you. And when you start to realize that, you know that the external reality is only a reflection of what's being created within your consciousness, within your vibration, within your frequency. So this is where you start to awaken, have awareness that you are the creator. There's nothing happening outside of you. There's nothing happening to you. It's happening for you, because everything is happening for you to awaken you, or give you awareness that you are the creator of your own reality, and that source creation. And this is a gift that each being has been given when we're in this reality. Each of us has been given this as a gift. But it's a gift because we've chosen to be here. We've chosen to be here now. And when I start using that terminology, be here now is about consciousness creation. It's about bringing frequency and understanding and wisdom to this age. And each and every one of us that's the reason we're all here now. We've come here for that purpose. And like I said before, each and every one of us holds a key of consciousness. When I've talked about like pathways as well, I was discussing pathways yesterday. And for a long time, when I was on this journey, I used to look at other people's pathways and think, well, mine's not like that, or mine's not like that, or mine's not like that. And I've realised that although it's part of the same whole, we're all sort of like, all the pathways, and all pathways lead back to creation and consciousness and source energy. Whatever's going on this planet within your own individual reality is part of the bigger picture, is part of the whole collective reality. There is nothing separate. We're like multi-dimensional beings, as like we are like, we have a multi-dimensional experience here, that we're all on different frequencies. So in a sense, that's like a multi-dimensional experience, that we're all on different waves, but each of those waves are essential for the whole picture. So whenever you feel or think within your reality or within your life that you're not doing what you need to do, you are, I can assure you that. Because your frequency is part of the whole, and it's all part of the infinite sort of like expansion that is going on, and expression that's going on, not just in this reality but in many dimensions. This is how it works. There is nothing separate. They're all connected. They're all part of the whole. So have be self assured that you are doing what you need to do. And this is where this first principle comes in again, where it says you're everything you wish to be, you already are. It's saying to you, there's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. You are already perfect, which you are. You are being created perfect. Now, I'm not saying perfect as in like in a human form. The word perfection is again, we start connecting to it and saying, well, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes with this, that. I don't mean it in that sense. I mean it is in like your source energy and your source vibration and your source frequency and your consciousness is a perfect tool for creation within this reality, within this age, within this time. And each and every one of us have that ability, have that infinite potential. We are all infinite beings. We are not, we are far beyond what we know within this human form. And that's what I mean by that. You're everything that you wish to be, you already are. And again, another principle talks about your source energy focused into this reality, into this human reality. And again, you chose to be here. We all chose to bring this source energy for this time and this age, to shift and align and bring unity and alignment. Each and every one of whatever's happening on this planet now is a reflection of what's happening in the infinite dimensions, because the infinite dimensions and this planet are one, and we are connected in this oneness vibration. And everything that's coming to this age and this time now is a reflection of bringing in and sort of like bringing union between the two realities. They're the same reality. The infinite realities are sort of like working in consciousness and creation there, and this reality is working in consciousness and creation. They're not separate, they are part of the same whole. They are two halves of it. They're not disconnected, but those infinite realities are bringing wisdom and insight and understanding from these universal beings, these teachers, these beings are bringing light and energy into this time and this age, and they're aligning with it. They're bridging the gap. Like, it's not even a gap, but it's the gap is consciousness. It's not like it's not a physical gap. It's like consciousness, and the consciousness coming down to this planet in this age is now bridging to bring forth a new way of expressing, a new way of being in this reality with energy, vibration, and frequency. And again, this is very much around sort of like, for me, like the fifth dimension is like the bridge between, you know, the infinite realities and this dimension, this reality, which are the same reality. There's no separation. However, it feels like there's a separation because we're in human form, and we're not aware or consciously aligned to our true potential yet, our true state of our being, you know, of our infinite selves and our potential. But the fifth dimension is the bridge. It's like heaven on earth. It's the bridge between heaven on earth. But heaven on earth is really just a concept. It's like it's here now. Heaven on earth is here now, because you can create what you want. You can create whatever you want in this reality, so it's here now. And the sixth dimension talks about creation and the formless realities and the infinite sort of vibration and frequencies of dimensions of reality of pure consciousness. And they go and again it moves past 6 7 whatever as you want to say. I mean, number is just a number. At the end of the day, there's frequency upon frequency upon frequency upon frequency. It's an ever evolving expansion and expression. It doesn't end and it doesn't begin. That's the point of oneness, and that's the point of the infinite vibration and frequency, and that's the point of source creation, is that there's potential in every moment and every second. It's not even second because it's time again, but in the eternal moment there's infinite potential always. So nothing's ever stuck, nothing's ever sort of like limited, everything is infinite. And it's like when we start to come to this, we start to realize that, again, this is that you are the creator of your own creation, and that's one of the principles as well. It's the understanding that heaven on earth is here now. It's not a place you get to, it's not a place that you're trying to attain. It is you. Heaven on earth is your aspect of your creation, your creator within you. And heaven is only an expression of you expressing your creation. So in that sense, it's like, you know, source energy is this infinite sort of vibrational frequency of creation that never ends and never begins, never ends. It's an infinite, expansive energy. And this is what heaven is. You know, it's this infinite, expansive place of infinite. It's not even a place, but it's an infinite expansion of creation and consciousness, and it aligns depending on what's needed, or what needs to shift a reality to bring them back to the truth, or the true aspect of self, the infinite self, that you are this infinite being of creation and consciousness, energy and light. And that is the purpose of source, is bringing you back to your essence, the true aspect of self. And this is what this time and age is about. So yeah, and these are why these principles are important, and I feel that they bring sort of understanding and wisdom, that you can start to, I mean, you should have a look at them. They're called the 15 principles of self-realization, and like I said, Lady Sarah Landon come up with these principles from the channel she had through the council, who's a guide and beings that work with her. But they're very good. I feel they sort of like bring, and you know, my purpose and my, you know, for me, this time and age, and my purpose, although I do all these insights and I'm directed to sort of different sort of like people and expressions and energy, it all comes back to oneness. Everything always comes back to oneness, and everything is about oneness. Everything is about understanding that everything is aligned and nothing is separate, and that is the true purpose. And I feel like within my reality and my time, and what a lot of the things I talk about, you know, and the guidance I receive is all about oneness. It's saying, you know, that you're aligned, that you're never separate, that there's always potential, there's always creation there, there's always time, There's always a, there's always that flow coming in, and it's the understanding that oneness never leaves you, that you are this infinite being of consciousness and creation, and you come from these formless dimensions to here, and you're still that now, here, now. There's no separation, and this is one of the biggest shifts, I think, with this age and this time of consciousness. It's like, I think many people within spiritual realities were always trying to get somewhere, and were trying to be something, and they thought once they arrived there, then everything would make sense. But the true sort of understanding of consciousness and creation and expansion and oneness is that you never arrive, because there's nowhere to get, there's nowhere to go. You've always been it, and you'll always be it. You've always been sort of this, whatever you're trying to attain, and you'll always be it, because you can't be anything else, because that's who you are, that's what you are. So all this understanding, this chasing around and trying to attain something instead of creating it. And this is the true sort of wisdom of this moment, this time, this age now, is in this now moment. It's here. You're not waiting for anything. It's already here. And you just have to create from that aspect of your infinite self, your true self, that you already know is there. And this is your source creator. This is your source vibration. This is your source frequency. And this is what this time and age is about. And the more I go down this sort of like, the more my expansion happens, the more my understanding happens, the more I become aligned with it, the more I start to understand that everything is one. There's no separation, there's no beginning, there's no end, there's only one. And it's always the same. And the creation and consciousness is always available. You're never separate from it, and it's always available at any time, in any moment, in the infinite eternal moment. And this is what heaven and earth is, that there's no separation. There is only one. Whether you're in this reality or you're in that reality, you are still one. There is no separation. There is only one vibration, one frequency, and one consciousness, and we're all part of the same consciousness. So you can never be separate. You can never be disconnected. You can't be disconnected from what you are. And this is the true message of oneness. And then, and everybody sort of like feels like they're lost and they're lonely sometimes, and they're disconnected, and things are hard and there's challenges. But you're still connected. You're never separate. You can't be separate, because this is what you are. You are part of oneness, and you are this source being of creation and consciousness. And when those times are hard, it's the time for you to see what's happening for you in that moment, and then start to create from a place that brings your reality more into line, or more into union with what you want, and what you feel and what you need. It's not even what you need, but it's like it's bring your more reality. When that principle says about you get more of what you are than what you want. So again, it's that kind of understanding that when you feel like that, you have to create what you are. So in that moment, create more happiness, more joy, more light, more heart, more peace, and then that will be your reality, because that's what you are. So that's the insight for today. Have a great day. Please subscribe, like, comment, and like I said, have a great day.